Hello there, and welcome to the Art Block with Ant and Derek. Today's topic is theater and film acting.
Yeah, and before we start, Derek,
Okay.
I want to address last week's episode. We had a trivia question, and there was a misprint on the answer. Hong Kong Phooey's alias is Penry Pooch, as in Penrod. And the misinformation was supplied by this book that I'd gotten the question from. It's part of my fault, too, because I didn't check other sources, but Super Trivia by Fred L. Worth.
Circa 1977.
Right. Don't put your money on it.
Kind of out of date. Yes.
Okay, so, Derek, you've done a lot of theater.
Right.
You've done some film.
Right.
Any actor knows there's a big difference between film acting and theater acting.
Exactly.
And, go ahead.
Well, the difference is, when you're on film, you just looking in front of a camera like we're doing right now. Whereas theater acting, you have an audience, much bigger audience. I mean, in film you do, but it's not,
Right.
You just have like the camera guy and the makeup and stunt people.
Right. Well, everybody else in the studio on a film set is the crew.
Yeah, that's the crew.
Though in theater, you don't want to necessarily acknowledge and address the audience, there's that wall, but you are performing not only for the actors on stage, but the audience. And of course, there's a whole issue with continuity in film.
Yeah.
Something you might do on a long shot,
Right.
you want to remember to do on the close-up shot. For example, if
Exactly.
you're smoking a cigarette, you don't want your continuity off. And that's a difference with the stage as well. You don't have that little box. You don't have that box containing your actions. I think I'd done a little research on this, and I think Michael Caine put it best. Michael Caine had said with theater acting, it's like you're operating with a scalpel.
Yes.
And with film acting, it's like you're operating with a laser. It's more delicate. It's tiny. It's a small area you're covering.
Very acute.
And
yes.
In theater, not so much. So
Yeah.
So what do you prefer, personally, theater or film acting?
I guess if I want to know how well I'm doing, if I want an instant response, I probably have to say theater acting because you already have an audience and you have the instant response if you're doing well, if you're doing not so well. In film, you maybe be able to cover it up because you can have do-overs in film. You don't have that in theater.
Right. And to me, I agree. Theater is more gratifying.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. That rush is something that doesn't compare to film acting. Something else about it is when you're acting for film, although you're acknowledging the camera,
Exactly.
you never can look right in the camera. You
Right,
have to.
right.
You have to. If it's a close up on you, but you're addressing an actor across from you, you have to kind of put your head at an angle. Acknowledging that you don't want. The last thing you want is your eyes to do this on camera and blinking a lot. It's a no. You don't want that. And again, with acting on stage, you can get away with a little more of that. The camera picks up everything, and a theater audience might not always pick up everything. So,
Plus, and also they always say on a camera on television, you add 10 pounds. I don't think you you don't gain that many pounds when you're on stage. So.
Right. Well, yeah. Our guest today, he might beg to differ. He's a character actor, and he's known to change his look a lot. So, personally, for me, as we said, I enjoy theater acting more so. Film's fun too, but it's more gratifying with theater.
Right.
What are some of your favorite plays?
That I've been or
in
seen.
general that you've been in, read? I mean, who are some of your favorites?
I would have to say I've loved watching. I loved watching
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare. Well,
Yeah.
yes, that was one. I've seen some of Romeo and Juliet, and that's definitely the classic. And Hamlet. And Henry V. If talking about the plays that I've been in myself, I loved doing the production.
Death Trap, right?
Death Trap.
Trap?
And making a little theater.
Right.
Actually, where I first met our guests. Actually,
Did you? All right.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I love Shakespeare too, and a lot of other things. Schaefer, Peter Schaefer, Anthony Schaefer, some good stuff, and of course.
Treasure Island, of course.
Yeah, well, Treasure Island, of course. can't go wrong with pirates and booty.
That means treasure.
Right. So, and also I want to address this, which we can address more in detail with our guests after our break. But there's also there's representational acting and there's presentational acting, and we'll get a little more into detail about that with our guest in a moment. We have a commercial break, and when we come back, we will have our guest, actor, theater and film actor, Don McGraw. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Spartans, my brothers who have fought so gallantly thus far, the blood of my blood that I would give up 1,000 lives for, I ask you to give once more, to sacrifice your sweat and your blood and your fire in honor of all that we hold great. But before we march into the hallowed halls of Ares, we must dine.
In hell?
Not this time.
In apple seeds?
No.
I crave me some Xerxes.
Hold your tongue, warrior.
I love Pompeiles.
No. Tonight, we dine at Greek Deli.
At the Greek Corner Deli, we offer a variety of Mediterranean favorites, including our crowd-pleasing gyro, as well as subs, salads, and tasty desserts. We also carry a large selection of Greek and imported beers, and invite you and 300 of your closest friends to join us for happy hour from 3 to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. The Greek Corner Deli, located on 587 Cherry Street in beautiful downtown Macon, Georgia. Look for the flags.
Welcome back to the Art Block with Aunt Derek. We'd like to welcome our guest here, actor Don McGraw. Thanks for coming, Don.
Thanks for having me.
And so, you know, Don, our conversation today is about theater acting and film acting, the comparisons of it and which you like better. And before we get into some of your thoughts on it and some of what you've done, I wanted to address the representational and the presentational ways of acting. Representational is more of an external thing. It's someone that deliberately imitates the character they are, and presentational is internal, which is revealing your character through your human behavior, and it's always more subtle. And a lot of people prefer the presentational. What I figured out was in my studies that Sarah Bernhardt, famous actress Bernhardt, was a representational actress, and Eleanor Duse was a presentational actress. So that'll give you an idea of the type of acting styles we're talking about. So Don, let's get to it, buddy.
Okay.
Go for it. What do you prefer? What do you have to say? What are your 2 cents about theater acting and film acting, and what do you prefer?
Okay, it's unfair to ask which I prefer, because simply both have their good points, both have their bad points. I'll tell you right now, they feed you great on a movie set, as you guys know.
Right.
So hands down, when it comes to food, there's that. But no, as far as the actual styles of acting, that they both have something to offer. So I really don't want to jump in and say one's better than the other.
Right.
Theater, you are absolutely right, Derek. It is more immediate. The gratification that you get is on the money at that second. You know if what you're doing works, and you know if what you're doing doesn't work. And it is so from that standpoint, I love live theater. Of course, now I've done live theater for 33 years, so I've got a lot more experience at that. I've done film acting, something like 6 or 7 films in the last 4 months, and that, so not, I don't have nearly the experience in film to talk about that.
Right.
But yeah, I like the immediate gratification. But now I'll tell you also, with film, wow, I mean the way that it's produced is so much different than the way the stage is done. When you walk in, at least here in the Macon area, you've got 4.5 or 5 weeks of rehearsals every night, 3.5 hours a night. You're delving into character. You're running it again and again and again. By the time you open a show and you do your 7 or 8 or 10 performances, depending on what theater you're working with, by the time that you do all that, you have run one particular scene maybe 30, 40, 50, 60 times even.
Right.
It's been my experience with film that you get minimal rehearsal. So from an actor standpoint, it's a matter of, okay, here's the scene. We're going to take 3 minutes to run through where you're going to move and what you're going to do during that scene, and bring it. And boom, you do it, and it's done, and it's forgotten. You might do 2 or 3 takes, but then that's it.
Right.
So the
Hopefully, if the camera's working.
yeah, hopefully, hopefully. You spend, as you guys know, you spend 20 or 30 more times sitting around waiting for cameras to be set up, for the lighting to be set up, than you do actually performing. So that process is really different. You know?
Do you? Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you like? Some actors don't like to on a film set. They don't like to see the rushes afterwards. What do you prefer? Would you rather just do it, get it done, not have to go back to it again, move to the next one, or do you want to go back and critique basically what you've done?
I want to see the rushes. And, you know, this is funny when, you know, if I went back 30 years, and I have videotapes of me in plays, you know, like you guys do, I'm sure, when we were all much younger. And for years and years, I cringed watching those. I could not stand looking at myself. But when it comes to film, you want to look at yourself because you want to see if it works or not. You know, it's like getting ready for a date and not taking the time to look in the mirror when you're combing your hair and shaving and brushing your teeth and all that. You know,
See if you flossed and all that.
End up showing up your date's house with your hair going like this, and you know, you don't want that. You want to see what you look like on film, and you want to see if what you're doing is working. So absolutely, I want to see the rushes. I want to see the days, and I want to have the chance to go back and redo something then.
Yeah, I did have one question. I know that many actors, particularly stage actors, use, I guess, the Stanislavski method. And is it very effective for film acting as well as stage acting?
For everything. Look, if you're an actor out there, okay, go out, get the ABC books by Stanislavski. An actor prepares becoming a character, creating a role is, I think, the three, A, B, and C. Get them. They go for everything. That basic technique I like, but you know, a lot of this, look, don't mistake, and again, I know you know this, but don't mistake these guys who consider themselves method actors, and I'm going to live the part for, you know, 3 weeks before a play, and that's not method acting. Method acting is as much about craft and style as it is all that internalization. Absolutely, Stanislavski, you know, is the foundation for all modern American acting, period. Doesn't mean you've got to act like Brando or anything. You know, but that is the foundation for everything.
Right.
All right, hold that thought. We'll get back with Don McGraw after this commercial break.
We'll be back.
Return to Wellston with Solid Ground, the complete first season on DVD.
No way, that's awesome.
The 4-disc set includes all 12 episodes plus cast and crew interviews, behind-the-scenes featurettes, outtakes, and more.
Works for me.
That was easy. Let's get to watching.
Filmed in Middle Georgia, see what the Telegraph called a humorous take on the detective series. Own Solid Ground, the complete first season today.
The moment that I laid eyes on her, I was hooked. She had a glow that said, I'm here, I'm waiting, speak to me, look at what I have to offer. As my eyes scrolled down her sleek, inviting, and provocative frame, I realized that this was no middle-of-the-road dame. She supplied opportunity, character, security, and a healthy boost to my ego. She had me coming back for more.
And we're back with the Art Block with our guest, Don McGraw. Now, we were talking about Stanislavski, and did you ever take classes that involved his style of acting?
No. I am one of those weird people who has never actually studied drama. I've just done it. And I think that experience is the best teacher. But now I'll tell you, I have read all three of the ABC books of Stanislavski. I've read my Uta Hagen. I've read my Strasbourg.
Respect for acting.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm a big, huge reader. You know, when I went to college, I went to Mercer here in Macon, and I have degrees in philosophy, in literature, and in great books. I was one of the pioneer students there in the Great Books program. So I'm pretty well read, you know, and I've always taken that approach. So I read and I do. So no, I actually have not, but I have taught Stanislavski. You know, I've spent most of my working life has been as a high school drama and English teacher. All my theater until the past few months has been avocational. I never thought I'd go and make a living off of theater, but I have now. That's what I'm starting to do. And so for most of my working life, I was a drama teacher, and I brought Stanislavski there, and my kids, you know, that's where I started off with them.
Right.
Okay.
This is a dangerous question, but
I'll give you a dangerous answer.
what are some of your favorite theater pieces you've been in and characters you played?
Oh, okay.
And I know you've done a lot.
Okay,
so.
can I start with two that I haven't done and
Right.
then go into that? Because I heard earlier you were talking about your favorite favorite authors, favorite playwrights. I got to tell you, Sam Shepard, David Mamet. And in both cases, they get kind of they don't hold quite as true, I think, in this day and age. I mean, we're going back to the 70s mainly for both of those. But two of my favorites that I've never been able to do, and I want to. So starting off with that. Favorite things that I have done. Got to tell you, I'm a big fan of Shakespeare. I know that's a tried answer. I just finished at Theater Macon last year. I played Dogberry in Much Ado About Nothing, and loved it. Great role there. Aaron Sorkin, best known for The West Wing.
Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men.
Right,
I was in that about maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. Played Markinson in that, the guy who turns evidence on the bad guys.
And kills himself.
I got to commit suicide on stage. Wouldn't want to do that anywhere else, but on stage will
Don't
work.
try that at home.
Don't try that at home, kids. We are trained professionals. Love Aaron Sorkin. I love his wordplay, and I love the quickness of it. Again, going back, and this is more movies than theater, not something I've done, but I love anything that harkens back to that old Adam's Rib, Spencer Tracy, Katharine Hepburn kind of stuff, where the dialogue is rapid fire and it's witty. I did have a chance to do the 20th Century recently, that was written in that time period, and the dialogue comes pretty snappily like that. Also, I did a play called Counselor at Law a few years back, about 3 or 4 years back, and played an old Irish private detective, but the energy and the words and everything moved so quickly, and wow, it was, I like that snap.
So you must love the Marx Brothers.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Talk about snappy, witty, and quick.
Yes.
There you go. That's
Rapid
the
fire
best.
comes
That's right.
Captain Spaulding, the African explorer. Did someone call me Snore? Hooray, 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 yeah.
Okay, so let's get into your recent film career.
Okay.
And tell us some of the things you've done recently.
Okay.
And what you're most excited about seeing.
Okay, well, completely by accident. Got into it because after years of teaching, I got sick and had to take some time off to recuperate, and decided that I could sit around a movie set for most of the day, and then be able to act and sit. When you're on a movie set, if you're going to film for 2 hours, you're going to sit around for 10. So I figured, okay, I can do that while you're.
You need a lot of snacks.
Yeah. Oh
Yes.
yeah, lots of cheese balls, folks.
Yes. Yes.
So I've in the past 3.5 months, I have done 3 major movies as an extra, 1 A&E miniseries as an extra, an independent film as a supporting character, and lo and behold, I get a B movie, which I'm thrilled about. B movie does not mean bad. But I get a role in a B movie, and lo and behold, out of the 30 or 40 people with speaking roles in it, when it says starring, my name is one of the 4 that pops up.
Yes.
So for that early on,
Very good.
for that short amount of time, I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
So, coming up this year, Tyler Perry's The Marriage Counselor. I am in that. Yes, it's just a little bit part singing in a church choir.
Right.
I'm in the Billy Crystal Bette Midler movie, Parental Guidance, about grandparents who have to take over the rearing of their grandchildren while their daughter goes off to work. Again, little bit extra part in that. And there's this little known actor, you may not have heard of him, named Denzel Washington.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Very familiar.
He's
Yeah.
got a movie coming out directed by Robert Zemeckis. Some
Right.
guy did, I don't
Yeah.
know, what was it called? Forrest Gump or something.
Forrest
Yeah.
Gump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to the
Directed that.
Future.
Yeah, just a little stuff.
Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
And that's the one out of the extra roles. That's what I'm most excited about because that movie, without giving anything away, is about Denzel Washington plays an airline pilot, and his plane goes down because of malfunctions. He manages to save the plane and most of the people on board, and I play one of the passengers on board. And wow, that was great simply because I was up on an interior set of an airplane, set up on hydraulics, I guess pneumatics, I don't know what you call it. Anyway, they pumped air in it to make it jump up and down. And later on, they put that whole set on these big O-rings so they could throw it around as we were crashing. And man, that was a blast. I spent about 5 or 6 days on the set of that, just getting thrown around and things getting tossed all around.
I'm familiar with that set. I was on there myself a few days.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
different scene as you.
Right, you were one of the people investigating, or congressman.
Yeah,
listening
we
to
were the
investigation?
NTSB board.
Yeah.
I was
Wow.
one of the mean-spirited Republicans.
There you go.
You had your Democrat side, your Republican side. Denzel here is being addressed by the committee. So
Great set to be on.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. As you said, Don Cheadle was on the set with us. A few other people.
Bruce
Melissa
Greenwood.
Leo, Bruce
Bruce
Greenwood,
Greenwood.
Melissa Leo. Yeah. So so
One more
tell
thing.
me. Go ahead.
I did want to ask you. You were in this upcoming movie, Tyler Perry.
Marriage Counselor.
Marriage
Kim
Counselor, yeah.
Kardashian.
Yeah, that's just
She was not on set that day, and my wife was thrilled about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that the question? Was she on set?
Where is she on set and how does she look? But
So Don, tell me
Feel
about
that.
this movie that you got a starring Bill
Okay.
on, real quick.
Okay, real quick.
What you can tell us about.
Here's the deal. There is a book series called Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. We're not that. We are a takeoff on that, and it is Abraham Lincoln versus zombies. Here's the deal. It is 1863. Lincoln's getting ready to put together the Gettysburg Address to go out to the battlefield and dedicate it. And he gets word about some strange goings-on in this little southern town called Savannah, Georgia. And apparently there are some strange goings-on at Fort Pulaski. Turns out that there are zombies that were formerly Confederate soldiers and Confederate civilians.
Okay.
So Abe Lincoln gets together about a dozen Secret Service agents. First time there's a Secret Service group. They come in to investigate because Lincoln has some experience with this. And there they find at Fort Pulaski, in the midst of all these zombies, 3 Confederate holdouts. One of them, Pat Garrett, who later goes on to kill Billy the Kid. A fellow named Hunter Longstreet, and of course, me. And me would be General Stonewall Jackson.
All right. We'll look forward to that.
Good
We'll be
deal.
right back with more of Don McGraw and our
trivia questions.
contest. Stay tuned.
What kind of madhouse is this? Is this any way to treat a man? Where's your humanity?
Athens Mattress Outlet, proudly serving Athens and the University of Georgia community. Featuring the Energy Series Pillow Top for only $3.99. Avoid the hassle of moving a mattress when your student leaves home to attend UGA. Athens Mattress Outlet is an online retailer based in Athens and now serving all of Georgia. Call or click today.
The only good bed is an Athens mattress bed.
The moment that I laid eyes on her, I was hooked. She had a glow that said, I'm here, I'm waiting, speak to me, look at what I have to offer. As my eyes scrolled down her sleek, inviting, and provocative frame, I realized that this was no middle-of-the-road dame. She supplied opportunity, character, security, and a healthy boost to my ego. She had me coming back for more.
Spartans! My brothers who have fought so gallantly thus far. The blood of my blood that I would give up 1,000 lives for. I ask you to give once more. To sacrifice your sweat and your blood and your fire in honor of all that we hold great. But before we march into the hallowed halls of Ares, we must dine.
In hell?
Not this time.
In apple seeds?
No!
I crave me some Xerxes.
Hold your tongue, warrior!
I love Pompeiles.
No! Tonight, we dine at Greek Deli!
At the Greek Corner Deli, we offer a variety of Mediterranean favorites, including our crowd-pleasing gyro, as well as subs, salads, and tasty desserts. We also carry a large selection of Greek and imported beers, and invite you and 300 of your closest friends to join us for happy hour from 3 to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. The Greek Corner Deli, located on 587 Cherry Street in beautiful downtown Macon, Georgia. Look for the flags.
And we're back on the Art Block with my guest and also contestant, Thomas Gilliland. Tell us something about yourself.
I was the executive producer and co-creator of the local hit sensation Solid Ground. I'm a drafter at a local architectural engineering firm. And one time, I saw the Oscar Mayer Wiener in Mobile, and that was a high point in my life.
That was very good, and a very good show, too, also, on Solid Ground. Don McGraw, our other guest, is on the other side of the studio. He can't see or hear anything what we're doing. We're getting ready for our next contest game, a win, lose, or draw type sensation, so let's get it on. It's a director of a film. The artist, CGI, cameraman.
Camera.
Okay. Whew. Okay. Costume designer. Emmy. Oscar. Academy Award. Okay.
Oscar.
Okay. Okay. Log cabin.
Hat, car. Pirate. Pirate of the Caribbean. Pirates of Penzance. Peg leg. Long John Silver. Treasure Island.
Yes.
Snowman. Spider-Man.
Good.
Ear, Vincent Van Gogh. Actor, tragedy comedy mask. Squirrel. Easter Island. Balloon. Word balloon. Cartoon, comic strip, dialogue, script, dialogue, acting, performing, singing. Uric, Hamlet, Shakespeare. So we have a winner. Our guest, Don McGraw, and myself won the drawing contest. And our contestant here, Thomas, has to pay for that. He'll still get a consolation prize, of course, for being a good sport and playing. And this week's payment is an egg in your face. But, and because Don McGraw is the consummate actor and a true professional, playing the role of Thomas Gilliland is Don McGraw. Come on in, Don McGraw. So, Don McGraw, Thomas is now playing Don McGraw. The honors.
You ready?
Give me your best shot.
It's on the depths.
What a sport. What a sport.
Is this where we say the yoke's on me?
The yoke's on you. Thanks for being a good sport, both of you. Here's your prize, your consolation prize for playing, Don McGraw. Don, thanks for coming. Good
It's
stuff.
Thomas now. We're
Thomas,
switching.
thanks for coming. Don, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Both. And we'd like to thank our sponsors each and every week of the Art Block, because without them, we wouldn't be able to do it. The Greek Corner Deli, downtown Cherry Street. Middle Georgia Talent, check out their Facebook page, run by Terry Wilson. Athens Mattress Outlet, who serves the whole state of Georgia. And we'd like to thank Ermtrout Harris for helping out.